Hey guys, this video will explain what is happening right now in the cultural moment in Poland in the aftermath of the Lex TVN bill. At the end, I will give you some thoughts and facts about the issue. Imagine you are a journalist. You work for the largest private media company in your country. Every day, you inform the nation. Then one day, the government votes in favor of a bill that will force you to be sold or laid off. Imagine you host one of the most popular talk shows, Kawa na Ława. Every Saturday, you interview a roundtable of representatives from every major political party. This Saturday, you have to interview people who voted, basically, against you. The man to your far right is part of a far-right party. His party abstained from voting. He might need his support if the bill re-enters the same. However, immediately after the vote, a libertarian member of his party was attacked by pro-TVN protesters, something you'll also have to talk about. The pro-abortion movement tweeted out in support of this assault. Crowds of anti-government opposition chant "Jebać peace," which means fuck peace. Paweł Kukiz is most hated of all. He is an independent member of the Sejm who voted with Law and Justice. A guest on TVN called him a prostitute. Peace actually have a law on their side. TVN cannot be owned by an American company. TVN have gotten around this rule by having their parent company, which owns 100% shares, Polish Television Holding BV, being an unoccupied trailer in an Amsterdam airport that employs 0 people. All the new law did was tighten regulations to close this loophole. Personally, I disagree completely with the protesters who say "wolne media," free media. It's not really what this is about. If a bill gets signed into law, TVN will simply be sold to someone. These protesters aren't as much in favor of free media, but in favor of the current ownership. It's just not true that Time Warner Discovery provide free media. It is the same company that owns CNN. Of course there are things they don't let you say. Of course they have narrative they push. In Poland, there is a very visceral reaction. As the Chinese might say, to some, TVN is spiritual opium. Internationally, though, the response has been packaged with a property restitution law that was passed in the same session of Parliament. Property restitution law isn't controversial in Poland. It passed the same unanimously. Blinken wrote, "We are troubled by legislation passed in Poland severely restricting restitution for Holocaust survivors and owners of property confiscated during the communist era, and draft legislation that would gravely weaken media freedom. Our shared values are our mutual security." There was a strong response from Israel and several Jewish groups about it. I'll put some of the pictures up here of some of the responses. Law and Justice have quite a battle on their hands internationally. Now finally, I want to point out some hypocrisy. Let's look at the German Journalist Association, a professional association for journalists. I think this is very revealing. Today they retweeted an article by DW Europe, Opinion: The Polish government's attack on the independence of private broadcaster TVN is just one of many moves slowly eroding democracy in the country, but this time is a step too far. Alright? If we look at what they wrote yesterday, Russian propaganda channel Russia Today German edition have apparently failed with its plan to broadcast its program on the German television network. There will probably not be a broadcast license. Good for broadcasting, for journalism, and for German politics. So, within the span of 24 hours, a journalist association have attacked Poland for eroding democracy, for implementing the same rule that France has, and also saying that it's good for Germany to ban Russia Today. To me, it seems like a blatant double standard. You could say, well, Russia Today is propaganda, and yes, it is. But so is TVN. You don't think that Discovery is filled with CIA agents, that it's also not free media, that it's also propaganda? It's just American propaganda. I don't think there's a moral difference between banning Russian propaganda in Germany and banning American propaganda in Poland. However, it does make interesting politics. Hope you guys are enjoying the summer. See you next time. Do widzenia.